Good morning, humbuns. This is your girl, Miss Books to you, coming to you. This is not actually a book review per se, but it is something that I decided a couple of months ago to start. And I said, what better way to start off the new year than with prayer? The book that I will be going over daily is going to be And So I Prayed the first 40 days. So not only will it begin in January, but it will also go over into some of February as well, being it is not 40 days in January. Okay. So the reason why I decided to actually do the 40 days of prayer was because I found myself a little off balance. I had a conversation with my mother recently in regards to just faith all the way around with the passing of my grandmother last year. I'm not gonna cry. But with the passing of my grandmother last year, it brought up a lot of emotions, and I knew that I already was attending church, not every Sunday, but like when I felt myself going off track, I felt, and that's what a lot of the preachers say, it shouldn't be a point where prayer is something that happens sporadic because God is not sporadic in our lives. He's something that's constant. Constantly gives to us even though we disappoint him. And that's one thing in life that my grandmother always raised us is to try our best not to disappoint God. Yes, things will happen. You will fall short, but pray about it and get back on track. So, that's my whole reasoning. And just a little background, I am 35, about to be 36 in February. And I actually grew up in the church because my grandfather was a preacher. So as far as knowing the word, I do know the word. Right now, I don't have a physical church to go to, but I do and have been attending a potter's house for the last 2 to 3 years. Um, I think within the last 2 years, I actually joined as an e-member. I really wish that's one of my goals this year is to actually go and be able to participate in one of TD Jakes' services because when I tell you it's a lot of things when I pray and ask God for discernment and Him to order my steps. And I swear that whenever I pray about it, it always manifests in one of the sermons that he actually had. So I know there's nobody but God that's speaking through him. And despite others or how anyone feels, I personally like the his teaching style. I do attend a church here in Baton Rouge. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I do go to Second Baptist sometimes, but for the most part, I've gotten a lot of my encouragement from TD Jakes as well as Miss Iana Van Zandt, and I appreciate both of them. They just don't know how last year that as far as just just things that happened, especially around the time that my grandmother passed, that I started reading the word more and I started going to church more. And I'm not gonna cry. Well, I have a tear to drop, but I'm not gonna cry, boo-hoo cry. And I also am going to do a story time about the events leading up to my grandmother passing. And my grandmother, she lived a healthy, full life. She was 95 years old when she passed, and you have to know, as an adult, people aren't here forever. So, cherish the people that are in your life. So let's get on to the book. So what I decided to do, like I stated, would be And So I Prayed the first 40 days. It's not really a challenge. It's more so just something that I wanted to do. And I purchased the book probably a year ago. And I never read it. I literally never read the book. But it was something that just immediately caught my eye. And I purchased it, not knowing that it would be something that I would be doing probably a year later. And I did begin trying to do it. I think November or December. And it's one thing that I have learned is that you have to make time for God's word. You see what I'm saying? So what I have started to do is in the morning I get text messages from my uncle and one of my friends that I used to work with. They are Bible scriptures and something that helps you go through the day. What I also notice is that when I do not attend church, and this most recently happened to me about probably 5 weeks ago, for something like that, in between 6 to 3 weeks ago, I did not attend church one Sunday. And I can't remember what Sunday it was, but I know, like, I do attend church, but I am not, I like old gospel. So some of the songs that they sing, I mean, they have good wording in it. They catch it, they put the words up, but it wasn't something that I enjoyed, and it was more so of a musical. So I didn't attend church. I later found out that Bishop Jakes did end up preaching after the singing and whatever they had going on, but I logged off once I started singing. I was like, no, I'm not for this. And I say, well, I just try to read the word and try to go. That week of work was pure hell for me. I'm not going to lie to you. So I noticed that if I don't get the word, it does spill over into like my disposition and how I look at things. It's like when you get the word, it's like you're better prepared to fight whatever fight. Okay. So let's start with day one. Day one is the first 40 days. And the day one says purpose. And I did read the pages. So mine says my purpose for my 40 days is for clarity, which is true. After my grandmother passed, I started going to church more. The word was more therapeutic and things became clear. So this is something that actually did happen for me. So going forward, each day I will take time out of my schedule. Like in the morning time is when I'll read the word and the book. So I'm not sure when I'll record it, if it will be in the morning time. Probably not, because I go to work relatively early. So 9 times out of 10, it probably won't be until the end of the day. I think there may be a good compass to see like if what I read actually manifested in my life as far as throughout the day. Did it help me? And I know it does. So it's a lot of things that have been happening, and everybody knows that I normally, as they say, flash out. So I have not been flashing out, and that's a good thing. So it has to be working. It has to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I guess we're going to call it the 40 days. And so I prayed. So this will be another section on my channel. And I hope you guys come back each and every day to see what and how I feel about everything that I read. So I hope you guys have a great day.